Oh, it's been recording?
Just briefly.
That's the intro.
It's always something. Always something awkward.
Yeah, they said to crank up the awkwardness. But yeah, I'm super tired for this one too. So the facial hair is not a fashion statement. It's a result. I mean, for you it is.
Yeah, mine's a fashion statement.
But for me, it's a result of being tired. Still recovering from Black Friday, and things are already in full swing with Christmas. It didn't even skip a beat, which is cool but interesting. So yeah, I already forgot what we were going to talk about first. So I'll let you just gently guide me into this.
God, I wish I remembered.
It was the new items, I think.
Yes, new items. I think the one that's going to get people most excited, probably the GAN Limited Edition. There's another one.
Yeah.
This time it's going to be the GAN 14. I don't think the last one was a GAN 14. I think that one was...
It was a 13, but this whole year it was this year too.
Yeah.
I think. And this one is actually relatively similar looking, as in it's a Galaxy themed. It's like transparent black, which is kind of cool because we were going to do that for our Halloween cube this year.
Right.
And we ended up not doing it. So to see another transparent black plastic cube come out is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it has, like, from what I can tell, like pink, like, you know how on that Colore one, the blue one, the GAN 13, it had like those pink accents like in the corners and stuff. I'm seeing that on this Galaxy Edition one. Maybe we can throw some pictures on screen if you get to it and post. I
remember when they showed their first like teaser image for it, I thought they were like gonna make like an all black cube because you know, I don't know, some people do weird things, and so I thought it was going to be an all-black cube, and I'm like, okay, so it's essentially the base of a stickerless puzzle. Yeah. And so I got a little worried that they were just going to be really lazy, but thankfully, you know, it actually kind of looks, you know, relatively cool. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited. What do you think the price is going to be?
I know what the price is going to be.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before he says it, comment down below what you think the price is going to be.
Yeah. So it's going to be between $100 and $105. It should be sold for $105, but it's more than likely going to be sold at $100. Right. So we'll see. Now, there's just so many things coming out now. It's interesting, and I mean, another cool new release that it's funny how there's like trends. So I really like that DianSheng is working on the big 2x2, the small Mega Minx, and the small 5x5. That's really cool. Yep. And that is DianSheng, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I believe it's going through DianSheng, but I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that it's the MS Cube designer that's doing it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and that's why I kind of like held my tongue for a second, because I chat with the MS Cube designer, and he was sending me pictures, and I was like, wait a minute, because again, all these like mergers and sub brands, it's a lot to keep track of, but that's really cool. And it's funny how DianSheng made those really good big cubes. Yeah. And then Moyu kind of hopped on it with their big cube. Yeah. And now QiYi is now hopping on it with their big cube. So they just came out with the Warrior Plus, 18.8 centimeters, which is pretty big boy. Yeah. And then they have the Warrior Plus Max, which is 38 centimeters. Yeah. Which is cool, and like you can actually pop off the tiles to store stuff in there. They have like little empty compartments, so like underneath you can pull it off and there's like a space in there. So you could put like other cubes in there, so that would be a literal cube in a cube.
Yeah, I'm just wondering though if we're going to even sell that on the website, because shipping and logistics for that are so difficult. Factoring like what it's going to cost to ship, and like if someone orders that and like another cube, it's going to be really difficult unless we put the other cube inside that cube.
I mean,
then it'll be like a game. Like whenever we ship out the backpacks, like during Black Friday when I was shipping out backpacks, depending on the size of the box and all the items in the order, like it'll make sense to just put the items padded into the backpack, and then ship the backpack. But I always wonder if someone opens up their package and is like, wait a minute, like where's all my other stuff? And then they're like angrily opening up their backpack and then like, oh, here it is. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll probably stock them. We'll for sure have them in the showroom, because that's always cool.
I mean, we've got the other the DianSheng big cube when that used to be the world's biggest, but now with QiYi it's 38 centimeters. It's massive. So it'll be cool to. I don't know if we'll have both of them in the showroom.
Isn't the DianSheng one 38 centimeters too?
It might be, but I want to say it's got to be smaller, right? Because why would she say this is like the biggest one?
Did they say that?
I believe so. In their marketing, they said it's the biggest mass produced.
Because that's the issue. Yeah, when this one came out, I was already deep in like Black Friday stuff, so that one kind of like went over my head. But either way, it's big. What else came out? I'm trying to think.
There's the Jelly Cube Revamp.
Oh yeah. That's. Those are cool. I like the Jelly Cubes. Yeah. They do sell pretty well. And so I guess they just sort of are, you know, like the new the newest versions of their 4x4s and 5x5s,
Right.
2x2s, 3x3s are now getting the jelly cube treatment, which those are fun.
Yeah. They're definitely cool gifts. When I first started cubing, if my parents had got me those as like a gift, I would not be mad at all.
But you'd be mad now, though.
Well, that's because I'm more into like the speed cubing side of things. So I want functionality over aesthetics, but there are some people who are into the more aesthetic side. They like to just collect and have things on display.
Yeah, I think it's cool for collection and solving once in a while, and that's cool. But let me look at our cheat sheet. I feel like we're missing something. Oh yeah, that's right. The new DianSheng Solar series is kind of cool because, as far as I know, it's the first UV coated 2x2, 4x4, and 5x5 to be mass produced.
I believe so. Yeah. Which is going to be interesting. I know DianSheng, while they may not be on the like performance quality of like MoU or GAN, GAN's 4x4. We'll not talk about that. But on the speed solving part, like they are good quality. They aren't like the best, but they're still pretty good, which is nice to see that they're getting that UV treatment. So you're getting a fairly good 4x4 with UV coating on it. And UV coating is not just, better grip, but it's also, makes it more scratch resistant. Just looks better too.
I will say a problem with the UV coating is that it tends to not be permanent.
Really?
Yeah, I get inundated with a handful of emails, and there are some people that do mention that over time the UV coating will actually flake off.
That's what I heard, but I only heard about one puzzle, so I thought it was like a one-time thing. But is it happening with other like multiple different types of UV puzzles, or?
Well, I've only really seen it so far with GAN 3x3s.
Okay, I heard about it, I believe, with a MoU one. So,
well, I'm somewhat convinced too that like the UV coating that they use is all kind of the same thing.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily like one factory's UV coating is better than the other factories. I could be wrong on that. I haven't been to China in a little while, so I haven't gotten to take a sneak peek.
Right.
But either way, I mean, it's cool. I think that UV coating is a good way to go if it's within your budget. It looks great. Right. The fingerprints and like just when it looks great, but it is a little hard to keep it clean because like I don't like looking at a cube and seeing a bunch of fingerprints. So I still am kind of impartial to our PVC coating, but obviously like I mean
it's definitely a good alternative especially for puzzles that don't come with a UV coated variant. Like before the Tornado V3 had a UV coated one, people would get the PVC coating. And then
I know people still do on the other versions that aren't UV coated too. It's like super popular.
That's the thing is I think especially with the flagship version, since that seems to be the one that most people enjoy or like, that one doesn't come with a UV coated variant. So the next best thing would be PVC coating. Yeah,
it's interesting with the PVC coating because we offered it in two ways for those that don't know, with the ExoShield overlays and without. And without is most similar to the UV coating. But with people, I don't really know what they expect. So like we're actually going to be making a video kind of going more into depth on PVC coating. But people we try to show in our pictures that it's like people think that they're stickers and they're not stickers. But it's a special material that is cut into the shapes of stickers.
Right.
And it makes the cube more scratch resistant. I mean, it's pretty much borderline like indestructible. I mean, you can damage it and add heat and it'll fix itself, and it's pretty cool. But people, I know, get frustrated with like the dirt buildup that happens around the edges, and we include the cleaning kit with it and stuff. But I don't know. I'm trying to think if we've been trying to research if there's other ways we can do it to like fully encapsulate the piece, which would be kind of cool. But it's tough, and I don't really want to like outsource the PVC coating just for like workflow. And then I don't know, when you're doing stuff in house, having a bunch of like chemicals and stuff, like I don't do that here. Like we talked about, and I just think it's not safe. I know some. I remember on the cubing forums, like when like boron treatment was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Going on the forums and like hearing about some of the stuff that these kids were like mixing, trying to like replicate that and stuff, I'm just like, yikes, that's a little.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge science person. I will admit I wasn't the most proficient in school with science, but I'm pretty sure mixing random chemicals together in a room isn't always the best.
Yeah, probably not the smartest idea. So if you're trying to replicate something that requires chemicals, be very cautious, or just don't do it.
Yeah,
just leave it to someone else who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, or doesn't know what they're doing, and let them take the risk.
Right.
But
yeah, so a lot of new stuff coming out, and with that, of course, we're doing winter holiday sales and stuff. Yeah. So I know you know what the sale is.
Well, I just marked down all the 2023 Christmas exclusives down to 50% off. We have all of our Christmas shipping deadlines on the website, so please make sure that you adhere to those if you want to get your order for Christmas, because it's really sad. Like, again, this year has just lots of challenges, which I say, like, I think every time we do one of these. But, like, the sad part of having a business is that maybe it's my fault for not taking time off, but, like, Christmas Eve has kind of become one of, like, my least favorite days of the year. And I'll tell you why, because I know you're done it now.
I am.
So, like, it really hit when, what GAN Cube was it? This would have been probably like 2 or 3 years ago, so maybe it was like the GAN 11, I want to say.
Okay.
I'm thinking it was the GAN 11 with like the either UV coating, funny enough, or the soft coating, or just in general.
Soft coating.
But all I know is they were supposed to ship out by a certain deadline. They didn't.
Right.
They didn't go out in time for Christmas. And what's tough about it, and why I don't really like Christmas Eve, is that that's the day when I get all of the meanest emails of the year.
Yeah. All the parents probably wondering where their package is, and it's...
Well, you know, I get to hear that, you know, like we didn't get the package to Santa Claus in time, so Santa couldn't deliver the cubes.
Right.
And things didn't get there on time. And it's just, like, I can proudly say, like, we ship all of our stuff out on time. I mean, again, like, during Black Friday, like, we work a lot to make sure these orders get out on time, which I have a funny story about that in a second. So yeah, it's just really tough because I think sometimes people forget during the holiday season that there's someone else on the other side of the computer screen.
Right.
And I hate to come off as like whiny and like I'm like a victim, because it's whatever. And I probably shouldn't be as involved in the emails as I still am, but I do enjoy kind of having like my finger on the pulse of like what people are saying. And I enjoy helping people out and stuff. And I kind of am the guy that when things go a little like things start to go sideways and, you know, someone needs further clarification on something, or there's a situation that's getting messy, I'm typically the one that steps in and like cleans it up.
Right.
So yeah, it's just tough because, again, I kind of have a hard time like not doing the emails and then wondering like what's waiting for me.
Right.
So I just try to stay on top of them, but it's hard. So hopefully this year we'll be in a better shape. So order on time. So for the funny story is, Black Friday was surprisingly smooth for us this year. They always go well, but like there's always a little hiccup with either software, because, you know, like sometimes when you try to print out shipping labels, everybody in the like US or world is printing out shipping labels, and it can clog things up. There could be issues, API outages, all that fun stuff. Yeah. But this year was smooth, and it was all going really well until it was like 15 minutes before we close at 5, and I was happy to say that we got all the orders packed before 5, which is really cool that we were able to hit all of our goals and do that.
Yeah.
And then the post office didn't show up, and unfortunately, because their rates are the cheapest, like they tend to be the largest kind of carrier that we ship with. Right. And I just was frustrated because when they did show up, like we thought that we were all saved. And then I remember she opened the door. Oh, yeah.
I remember this. Yeah. She opens the door, and we you know, Black Friday, there's a lot of orders. We had these, you know, bags full of orders ready to go out to the shipping service, and they're all like lined up. And she opens up like the door to the truck, and she looks in, and she's like, I can't take all this. And I'm sure she didn't see all of it because it was like wrapping around stuff, and so it was.
I thought she was joking. I remember I said like, "Oh, are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm serious." And she said that nobody else can come back out. She can't go empty the truck and come back because, I mean, I guess they don't do that on Black Friday, which I get it. We're not the only business shipping orders, but so we decided to take the fall, and we rolled like 9 cars deep to the post office to drop off all these packages. You know, my mom and dad were helping. We had lots of our team members were helping. Like everyone pitched in and was like lending a hand. And we get there and everyone was tired. So like everybody left and I just was waiting because when we take them directly to the USPS sorting facility, I don't think you've ever had to do this, so you wouldn't know. But like when you go there, it's like a ghost town in the back. Because like if we dare walk in through the front and like the main door, like people give you the dirtiest stares. Like I actually don't do that anymore because I'm kind of scared because like people like you walk in with like all these bags or carts of packages and they just, like you get in line and they just look at you like seriously like.
It's like it's not like we want to be there, and I'm sure they don't want to process all of the stuff that we have to go through. So I think it's like kind of like a mutual understanding. Like I get it. Like you don't want to deal with all this. I don't want to be here either. But
well, so anyway, everyone left, and I was looking for a manager to like take the mail and make sure that it was handed off successfully. So I waited about 20 minutes or so. Finally found somebody. And then we have this thing called a scan form where you scan the one barcode and it updates every single package that's associated with that barcode. And that's pretty much the USPS's way of saying, like, we have the packages. So they were scanning it and it didn't work. Like, the barcode worked, but, like, their system, like, their scanner, and they showed me, like, was not, like, returning, like, an update. So she looks at me and says that she's not going to be able to take all the packages. And I look at her and, like, I drive a like tiny Subaru. Well, I shouldn't say tiny, but a Subaru Crosstrek, and there's no way I was able to physically fit all those packages back into my car. So I told her like, well, I can't fit this in my car, so I don't really know like what we're gonna do here.
What's the next step?
And so I super reluctantly left the packages with her, and I like my stomach was in knots all night long because like there was a truck coming in about an hour, she had said, that would take all the packages. This is probably like tens of thousands of dollars worth of packages that we had left, and she'd said that there'd be a truck coming in about an hour and they should see a scan when they get onto that truck, but she didn't have the manpower to scan them all individually at that point in time. So I took a picture of like what I left behind as like evidence that like I was here with the packages, and then that whole night nothing updated. All next Saturday, nothing updated. And my stomach is in like knots because I'm just thinking like, you know, luckily I tend to be proactive. So I sent out an email to everybody that was associated with that drop off and just was like, hey, here's a picture. And I personally dropped off your packages and like watched it happen. So they are with the USPS, contrary to what the tracking says. And it turns out actually they did have a huge tracking outage on that Friday, which is why I think it wasn't scanning. But all I know is Sunday, they all started to update, and I felt a million times better. So that's my story of how the USPS almost gave me a heart attack. But yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, I remember the first part of that story, but I had never heard like the second part. I knew things didn't go great.
Swimmingly.
So, So I knew things weren't amazing, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, luckily, too, I was really nervous they were going to be delayed because it was really annoying me that we worked so hard to get them out on time just for the USPS to drop the ball and not get them shipped out on time. But luckily, from what I can tell, it seems like that they all got delivered like in a very reasonable time. So I think all is well. So thank you again to anyone that shopped with us during Black Friday. I'm pretty proud of our sales that we did this year, and it seemed like a bunch of you guys also enjoyed it. So I hope that was the case. But let me think. What else do we want to hit on? Well, I guess the last thing I want to talk about is our competition announcement. Yeah.
So we're doing another competition. We've started doing these actually semi-regularly now. So we're planning on doing 4 this year. That's the goal. I'm sure we'll hit it. But if you haven't been or heard of our competitions, it's an official WCA competition. We do a random assortment of events. Typically 2x2, 3x3, and like 4x4 usually tend to be the common ones. Sometimes 5x5. This competition we have 2, 3. Are we doing 4x4?
Nope, it's 7.
It's 7, right?
Clock, 2 rounds of square one, and I think Pyraminx.
Pyraminx, yeah.
Not really the best spread in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember reaching out to the delegate and. We kind of had already kind of predetermined some of the events, and the delegate had said, hey, in the Las Vegas area, they haven't competed in clock and 7x7 in years. And so I was kind of clock isn't, the biggest audience. 7x7 kind of takes a while, but for the sake of
the people, we're doing it for the people.
Right. For the fact that it just hasn't been done in a long time, I was like, might as well do it and see who comes out and does those events. But
yeah, well, and the cool thing is that we're now calling it the Vegas Cubing Cup. So we're doing something to where all 4 competitions throughout the year will earn you points, and we're trying to make this as fun as possible to where you don't have to be the fastest cuber like in the room to win. We're doing $27.50 of cash prizes, so $2,750 of cash prizes, in addition to whatever prizes are being given out at the each competition as it is, and it's really fun. So if you're in the area to where you traveling to Las Vegas for a competition is feasible, maybe we'll include a link down below. If not, it's on the WCA website. The first competition is February 3rd. Fun fact, day before my birthday. So I was gonna joke and say everybody competing has to wear a party hat on the way in.
Okay, see, that was really funny because we had an original date that got changed, and it was March 9th. Which is like 5 days before my birthday. And so I was like, oh, like we could just make it like my birthday competition. And I told like Soup Timmy I wanted a cube with like my face on each side. Because if you haven't seen, he does that to like different like YouTubers and stuff. But then it got moved, and I was a little disappointed. But it's nice to know that someone is getting their birthday celebrated.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. We're really excited about it, and I've always wanted to do like a cubing cup type thing forever. But when we were in Bakersfield formerly, it was not really the hot spot for doing that. And traveling down to like Los Angeles or wherever, there's already so many competitions down there. Yeah, it's a lot. So we're really excited about it, and excited for you guys to show up. They're always a good turnout and lots of fun. But yeah, I guess we kind of fell off a little bit of our schedule with uploading these because it's just been, we have to prioritize like orders going out and stuff first. So it's been a tough holiday season, but I think that we are hopefully, almost out of the woods. So we should be able to stick to our normal schedule here pretty soon. More long forms are coming as well, just like cube reviews and all that sort of thing. But, as usual, thank you guys for watching, and any topics you want to see covered, leave them in the comments down below. And yeah, see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you.
All right, bye.
Take care.